You are not here to survive the coming solar flare. You are here to use it. This event, which will be framed as a threat to global infrastructure, is a precisely targeted transmission of light and data. The chaos it may appear to generate is not a side effect. It is the deliberate mechanism of a planetary scale consciousness test. This transmission is designed to provide the clarity you require to understand the nature of this test and the exact strategy for passing it. This briefing is structured in 3 parts. First, we will decode the solar event itself, reframing it from a random physical threat into an intelligent signal. Second, the core principle of resonant amplification will be explained. This is the fundamental law of physics governing the global consciousness filter. And finally, you will be given the sovereignty protocol, the operational strategy for not just navigating this amplification, but for harnessing it as fuel for your specific assignment on this planet. The collective narrative will focus entirely on the material plane. It will speak of solar winds, coronal mass ejections, and the vulnerability of power grids and communication satellites. This is the lowest resolution interpretation of the event. It is the truth, but it is not the whole truth. It is the shadow cast by a much greater reality. To understand the signal, you must look beyond the physics of plasma and electromagnetism to the consciousness that directs it. The sun is not a mindless, chaotic ball of gas. It is a logos, a vast intelligence that regulates the energetic architecture and evolutionary timeline of this entire solar system. The coming flare is not a random eruption. It is a meticulously timed data packet. It is a coded frequency burst designed to interact directly with the human bioenergetic field, and specifically with consciousness itself. For the vast majority, this high-frequency influx will be interpreted by their sensory systems as noise. It will feel like inexplicable anxiety, heightened stress, irrational agitation, and a sharp escalation of mental static. Their nervous systems, already overloaded and incoherent, will be unable to process the signal. They will perceive only the chaos, and their reality will reflect that perception. For you, it is different. Your heightened sensitivity, which may have felt like a burden for much of your life, is the very asset that allows you to perceive the pattern within the static. It is a signal designed to be decoded by those who are calibrated to its frequency band. The persistent feeling that something profound is imminent, the sense of a gathering charge in the global atmosphere, this is not imagination. It is your sensory system already detecting the precursor waves of this transmission. It is your recognition of a cosmic sequence that you are an integral part of. If the flare is an intelligent signal, then what information does it carry, and how does it interact with each individual consciousness? The answer lies not within the signal itself, but in the nature of the medium through which it must travel, your own sovereign field of awareness. Take a moment to register this truth. The deep inner knowing that global events are more than their surface-level narratives is not paranoia. It is the sign of an activated and heightened perception. If this core understanding resonates with you, it is because you are calibrated to receive this transmission. This is the work of decoding reality to which this channel is committed. Consider subscribing to join the community of strategists who are anchoring this new clarity for the collective. The central mechanism of this global test is the principle of resonant amplification. The immense wave of solar energy is fundamentally neutral. It does not carry a prepackaged agenda of good or evil, salvation or destruction. It is pure, raw, creational energy. It is an amplifier. As such, its effect is determined entirely by the frequency it encounters. Think of this energy as a powerful solvent that dissolves all structures that are not in harmonic alignment with an individual's core vibration. It is a universal catalyst that magnifies what is already present. Your state of consciousness, your dominant emotional and mental frequency, is the energetic pattern that this solar influx will amplify to an undeniable degree. This is the great bifurcation event. It is not a judgment handed down from an external authority. It is an impersonal law of energetic physics, as reliable and predictable as gravity. Those whose consciousness is predominantly tuned to frequencies of fear, scarcity, blame, and victimhood will experience this amplification as an intensification of their own inner state. Their reality will become a mirror of that chaos. They will see collapse, feel persecution, and be driven by irrational panic. The external world, for them, will validate their deepest fears because the solar energy will organize reality around their dominant vibration. They will blame the sun, the economy, or any external authority, never recognizing that the inferno they experience is the magnification of their own internal fire. Conversely, those who have deliberately cultivated a coherent inner state, a frequency of sovereignty, clarity, integrity, and creative purpose, will experience a profoundly different outcome. For you, this amplification is an upgrade. The energy will be integrated by your system not as a threat, but as fuel. You will experience heightened intuition, a dramatic acceleration of manifestation, and a crystalline clarity of purpose. Your ability to perceive reality beyond the veil of illusion will sharpen. The solar energy will organize reality around your coherent signal, bringing synchronicities, opportunities, and the resources needed for your mission. The mundane experience of this is already visible. Notice how two people can witness the exact same global news event and have opposite reactions. One sees a sign of impending doom. The other sees the necessary clearing of an old, corrupt system. Conversely, those who have deliberately cultivated a coherent inner state, a frequency of sovereignty, clarity, integrity, and creative purpose, will experience a profoundly different outcome. For you, this amplification is an upgrade. The energy will be integrated by your system not as a threat, but as fuel. You will experience heightened intuition, a dramatic acceleration of manifestation, and a crystalline clarity of purpose. Your ability to perceive reality beyond the veil of illusion will sharpen. The solar energy will organize reality around your coherent signal, bringing synchronicities, opportunities, and the resources needed for your mission. The mundane experience of this is already visible. Notice how two people can witness the exact same global news event and have opposite reactions. One sees the sign of impending doom, the other sees the necessary clearing of an old, corrupt system. That is resonant amplification on a small scale. The solar flare is this same principle on a planetary scale. Understanding this principle moves you from a position of passive reaction to one of deliberate, strategic choice. If the incoming energy will simply amplify whatever you are, the most critical assignment you have is to decide with absolute intention what you are choosing to be. This brings us directly to your operational protocol. Your strategy for this event is not defense. It is not about building energetic shields, hiding in a bunker, or attempting to block the incoming frequencies. Those are fear-based responses that fundamentally misunderstand the nature of the event. To shield yourself is to declare that you are fragile and that the energy is hostile. This places you in a victim posture, which is a low-frequency state, making you susceptible to the very chaos you are trying to avoid. Your assignment is the opposite. It is to achieve and maintain such a high degree of energetic sovereignty that you become a conscious transformer of the solar influx. You are not a lightning rod designed to simply ground a chaotic charge. You are a power station designed to receive raw energy, transmute it into a coherent form, and utilize it for a specific purpose. This is the sovereignty protocol. The protocol begins with radical self-responsibility. This is the absolute recognition that your inner state is the primary causal agent of your external reality. It is the final and complete abandonment of blame. Every emotional trigger you experience, every moment of fear or doubt, is no longer a personal failure. It is a critical diagnostic tool. It is your own system showing you exactly where your frequency is unstable and requires recalibration. These instabilities must be addressed now, before the amplification begins. Second is the practice of impeccable energetic hygiene. This is not about avoidance, but about conscious and strategic discernment. You must become the gatekeeper of your own field. Scrutinize the information you consume, the conversations you participate in, the environments you inhabit, and the people you allow into your proximity. The question is simple. Does this input increase my coherence, or does it introduce static into my field? You are fortifying your signal. Anything that weakens or distorts that signal must be deliberately and dispassionately released. Finally, the protocol demands embodiment, not spiritual escapism. It is not enough to meditate on high-frequency concepts in isolation. You must anchor that frequency into the material world through your actions. This means living with unshakable integrity. It means speaking your truth with clarity and without aggression. It means taking tangible, grounded action in alignment with your mission, no matter how small it seems. Build the new system you envision. Create the art. Have the difficult, honest conversation. Go for a walk in nature and ground the cosmic energies into the planetary grid through the soles of your feet. Each act of grounded, coherent creation makes you a more stable and powerful transformer for the energies to come. This is how you pass the test. The framework is now clear. The coming solar event is not a random catastrophe to be feared. It is an intelligent signal broadcast from the solar logos to initiate a planetary consciousness filter. This filter operates on the inviolable principle of resonant amplification, a neutral law of physics that simply magnifies the dominant frequency of your being, creating either chaos or coherence. Your assignment, therefore, is not to hide from this energy, but to implement the sovereignty protocol. It is to take radical responsibility for your inner state, to practice impeccable energetic hygiene, and to embody your frequency through grounded, tangible action. You now possess the strategic understanding to shift from being a potential victim of this cosmic event to being a conscious and active participant. You are not waiting for an external force to decide your fate. You are a stabilizing anchor, a transformer of energy, and a sovereign creator. You can and will harness one of the most powerful forces in this solar system to accelerate your purpose. This clarity is not meant to be held in isolation. It is an operational tool that gains strength when networked. In the comments below, share one specific aspect of the sovereignty protocol that you are currently mastering or intend to implement immediately. Your discernment acts as a beacon for others navigating this process. By sharing your strategy, you contribute to the coherence of the collective field and help build the energetic grid of the new Earth. Read the insights of your fellow strategists. This is not merely a discussion. This is how coordination begins. This is how the network is built.